if you're a high school student athlete and you want to play at the next level, you need to go to JUCO. You need to go ahead and go and play junior college for whatever sport you play, if they offer it. Now, they don't offer every sport that we have at the Division I level, but if they do, I really want you to consider it. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why. Before I get started, I want to go ahead and lay the groundwork and dispel two rumors that I don't want to murky the waters of what I'm trying to communicate today. Number one, when I say junior college, you got to understand that you want to go to the most competitive junior college. Not all junior colleges are created equal. Not all of them are the same level. There's some Division I junior college. Needless to say, that's the one that you want to go to. You want to search and see which are the Division I junior colleges in your area. I wouldn't even say in your area, because if you're as hungry as I was when I was going through it, I would have went to any state that gave me the opportunity. All right, and that doesn't mean necessarily a scholarship. That just means give me the attention, being able to get on the floor, being able to redshirt something, give me something. I would have been there, and I was. I walked on my first year at College of Eastern Utah, who's now recognized as Utah State University Eastern. Didn't have any scholarship money. But every year after that, I was on scholarship, would parlay that into a four-year university scholarship at Ouachita Baptist University and got that paid for as well. So it can work out for you just like it worked out for me, but I wouldn't put any limits on where I would go. But yeah, I need you to make sure you frame it the right way and understand not all JUCOs are created equal and not all of them are the same level. So you need to make sure you find a Division I JUCO by all means necessary, and go to that one. If you're not in a position to go to that one, something is better than nothing. But I definitely want to make sure I frame this the right way, and you understand that there is a high level Division I junior college, and that would be my first goal. If I can get in, I would try to do that. But if I didn't, I wouldn't thumb my nose at any other level of junior college. I would just be happy that I had opportunity and just build from there. Another thing I want to talk about before I get into the reasons of why you should go JUCO is understanding that there's a lot of rumors going around as far as JUCO years not counting towards the NCAA once you transfer and go to a four-year institution like a Division I, Division II, Division III, yada, yada, yada. That's false. I've actually talked to the NJCAA recently about this, called the headquarters right there in Charlotte, North Carolina, and was told that is not the case. There are some situations where student athletes are granted waivers because their particular circumstance fits something that waiver has highlighted. So that's different. But by and large, there is no, I can go to JUCO for 2 years and then still have 4 years when I go to a four-year university. That is not a thing. That is a lie. That is a rumor. I want to go ahead and dispel that right now. But let's go ahead and get into these reasons of why I think you should go JUCO. Number one, going JUCO is definitely going to make you tougher. You're going to be around some individuals that varies in age and have mature bodies as far as in the weight room has developed themselves in a way that high school just doesn't offer. And I think that is going to allow you to mature faster, and it's going to make you level up. You're going to be playing with some grown men. You're going to be playing with some grown women. You're going to be playing with some adults, and that's going to shape you in a way that if you would have just went to a high school, you wouldn't have received that. The second thing I would say is this: you're going to learn to be more self-sufficient, because many JUCOs don't have the resources as four-year universities. I mean, they're smaller schools, so they have smaller staffs. They have a smaller amount of professors, and you're going to have to really go out there and get it yourself. There's going to be less hand-holding at a junior college because there's less staff and less resources to hold. There's less staff and less resources to help you along that. I think this is a positive thing. I think that this is a positive thing because if you go from high school to college and you end up going to one of these prominent schools that have all the staff to hold your spoon, do the helicopter, and train to feed you on a regular basis, then you should start being reliant on that. But in JUCO, you realize that you got to go and get it yourself. So by the time you get to a four-year university, you can see what the inner workings are, and you're less coddled, and you can make it your own experience. Now you have more ownership. And this is very important because a lot of people, after they get done with their eligibility, they're quick to try to point fingers at, oh, he had me in this class or she had me doing this and that. And Listen, JUCO players that's gone through this process and they understand the inner workings of the business side of being a student athlete, they're less likely to get duped. They're less likely to be wowed or glamored about the whole process of being a student athlete, because we've seen the underbelly of what it means to be a student athlete. We understand, by and large, a lot of those things, and we understand that there's a business side of it. And I need you to start from the day one, getting your feet wet as far as realizing how everything works, realizing what classes are going to transfer, realizing financial aid if you are going to get financial aid, realizing if you can get some type of scholarship because it's a sister state, realizing if there's going to be any type of concurrent classes that you've taken in high school that maybe can count for this, is going to save you money. Like, you need to be thinking about this stuff on a regular basis. And I think that JUCO kind of wakes me, it definitely woke me up to, from the fantasy of what I had of what college basketball was versus what it actually is. I think it gives you a jump start on your grades as well. Right? You get a jump start on your grades because in a junior college setting, it's typically a smaller teacher to student ratio. That means that oftentimes you can get up and go talk to your professor right after class. Right? Whereas when I went to a four-year university, sometimes it could be a lot more difficult getting a hold of your professor because now they have office hours and you got to make sure you get on their schedule. You're just another number. The bigger university you go to, you're just another number. Have you been to some of these auditoriums? Some of these auditoriums, you get 300 students in one auditorium, 500 students in one auditorium, even 100 students in an auditorium is a lot. So you just can't pop up and wait in that long line to get to the professor, because by the time you get to the front of that professor, the next professor is coming in with their class with another 300 or 400 students. So you don't have time to dink around. You got to make sure that a lot of your grades are already intact beforehand. You want to get a running start. When you get to the bigger university, a lot of these times, these bigger universities y'all are wanting to go to, you are just a number at this university. They have thousands upon thousands of students that are going to graduate the same time you're going to graduate. All right. So you want to knock out a lot of these classes that you can in JUCO, and you want to make sure you put yourself in the best position before you even get to a four-year university. If I were you at a JUCO, I would make sure that not only I knock out my basics, I will also already begin with the end in mind. I will begin with the end in mind as it relates to what are going to be classes going to transfer. What is my major? What is my major? What do I want to at least get in the wheelhouse of? Maybe I don't know the exact thing. That's totally fine. That's totally normal. You haven't experienced it enough to know exactly what you're going to major in. That's cool. But at least get yourself under the umbrella. Is it going to be in the communications field? Is it going to be in the medical field? Is it going to be in the is it not going to be in the medical field, but I know I'm going to be heavy in science? What is that going to look like? You got to figure that out now as a JUCO, and you have the perfect opportunity to do so because it's conducive to that environment of getting your feet wet on a small scale that's going to help you in the long run once you get to a four-year university. This is the third reason of why I would say you should go and start with a junior college is because it'll wake you up in a major way that you're not going to be able to survive just based off your talent. Let's just be real. If you're talented and you're gifted with size and strength, at the high school level, you can dominate just based off that, or you have a big gap on everyone else based off that. That gap gets that much smaller when you get to a junior college, because you're competing against people from all over not only the country but the world, and then you're also competing with people that have that talent as well, and they put in work. And then you're even competing with individuals that some individuals have already played at a high level beforehand. So I think it's a great wake-up call before you get to a four-year university. And it also it holds up a mirror saying, okay, is this really what I'm about? Is this really what I'm about versus is this something that I'm just doing just to be doing? Which leads to my next point. My fourth, and I think this is going to be my last point, is I hear a lot of student athletes say, man, I lost the love for the game. I used to love it, but now it's more of a business. JUCO is going to show that. It is going to be the first time where you're forced to play outside of when you want to. You're forced to play outside of, if I feel like it, or the love for the game. JUCO was the first time that I came to that realization that, you know what? I don't want to do this. but I have to do it. Versus when I was in high school, I just played because I loved it, and it was like it was a cool thing to do. It was a social environment. It was great. When I got to JUCO, when you're around so many people that are hungry, that want to make it, there's no days off as far as doing it when you just want to do it. And when I say want to make it, I don't mean just basketball players. Don't get me wrong. You got some hungry individuals that say, you know what, I want to play at a Division I school. This is just a stepping stone. I gotta ball out. I gotta do my thing. Not only the players, but also the coaches. Some of my coaches wanted to have that opportunity at a four-year university as well. So it just breeds an environment of, we got to get it, and we don't have time. We're only here for a limited time. There's a limited amount of time here. There's a sense of urgency because we only have 2 years unless you redshirt, and we have got to get it. It's that sense of urgency that's going to help you, but it's also that sense of intentionality with individuals saying, we're not here just because we like the game. We're here because we love the game and we see a future in the game. We're going to put a lot of energy, blood, sweat, and tears, soul into this thing, and we're going to make this thing happen. So I really think it's a gut check for a lot of individuals before they make it to a four-year university. Because if you say, you know what, you don't want to do it, it's no shame. I'm not going to shame you and say, oh, you just wasn't tough enough. I'm not that guy. It's not for everybody. You're no less of a person because you don't want to play. But going to a JUCO on a smaller scale, a two-year college where no one knows. A lot of times these junior colleges are in the middle of nowhere. Don't get me wrong. There's some of them in major cities like you had Salt Lake Community College. That's in a major city in Utah. And some other schools that are in major cities. But by and large, they're in small cow towns with Walmart being your mall. So it's really a gut check if this is what you want to do. And I think that it's definitely served me well. It built grit, it built tenacity, it built a sense of urgency for me. And I know if you take it seriously and you really put your heart into it, it's going to open up opportunities that you never would have had available for you. And that's so important now more than ever, because a lot of four-year universities are just wanting transfer students. They just want those types of students. So if that's the case, what better way to sharpen the sword, to build your armor, to get smarter, to get your grades in order? What better place to do that than a junior college? And don't get me wrong, you got to go to the right junior college, but it's definitely something you should consider if you want to play at a major Division I, or just a major, if you want to play at a major Division I or any other four-year university moving forward.
Loud E.